Now, Darren Farwell of the Farwell Group joins us so we can learn more about investing for our future tax efficiently. Good morning, Darren.
Good morning, Marilyn. Marilyn, your theme today is sort of thinking positively about the future and talking about tomorrow. And, very often life challenges with the classic decision, bird in the hand today or two in the bush down the road. And what makes that choice particularly challenging is there's rarely a black and white answer. This was certainly the case for Bernadette and her late husband when they were making choices about his defined benefit, pension plan survivor benefits. When Bernadette's late husband, Ralph, retired at age 67, his employer gave him the form to choose how he would like to receive his defined benefit pension, how he would like it paid to him. Now, remember, a defined benefit plan, as the name implies, is a set amount of pension benefit each year, each month. Now, some plans make an adjustment for inflation over time. Some do not. The difference is critically important and impacts all your financial decisions regarding your benefit. And there's generally no advice around the options in the paperwork. You're just asked to make a choice nonetheless. It's the kind of choice Bernadette and Ralph had. Now, let's use an example. It's not exactly their numbers, but say your standard pension payment is $2,000 a month. You can choose to receive more by waiving any benefit to your surviving spouse after you die. That's the bird in hand. You have more money, income today. But there are other choices. You can collect a lower monthly amount and your surviving spouse will receive 60% of your base pension, or you can choose an even lower amount each month, but your surviving spouse will continue to receive 100% of the benefit. These are the two in the bush scenarios. More income, but down the road. That's the choice that Bernadette and Ralph had when Ralph retired. They decided to take the higher monthly amount. Their logic was that they wanted to have the income in their hands when they were younger. After all, that's when they'd be traveling and spending more, or so they thought. However, research does not support that. In fact, research shows us that spending is very consistent throughout retirement, adjusted for inflation. It's the things you spend on, not the amount you spend, that changes. For example, Bernadette had 2 dental implants last year. That was almost $14,000, which is certainly similar to a nice vacation. So, do you take the bird in hand or the two in the bush? This requires some very specific planning and analysis for your individual situation. Bernadette and Ralph's advisor did not run different planning scenarios to understand what the long-term impact of the different decisions would be. In fact, most advisors don't. And it's understandable why. The discussion about what things will look like when a couple, two, become one is not fun. It's awkward. It's a hard conversation to broach. However, not doing it can be much worse. It can impact the savings you have for your life. And in this, we are different. And our team, the Farwell Group, we make this part of our conversation. And now you know from what happened with Bernadette and Ralph that there's lots of variables to consider when making a decision about your long-term company defined benefit pension plan, or even your Canada pension plan and old age security for that matter. Your relative ages, your health, your life expectancy, indexing, spending habits, and many, many more. Do the pre-planning to determine a best outcome for the both of you for the long term.
Well, when you started to talk, it sounded like a slot machine. Which one looks better? When am I going to gamble? But it sounds like you have statistics and information, so we don't have to gamble with our future. If someone wants to talk to you about defined benefits or just retiring on their own terms, how do we reach you?
Please feel free to call 416-863-7501.
416-863-7501. Darren Farwell, the Farwell Group. You aren't flying blind when you have statistics and information and experienced people guiding you. Call, it won't cost you anything, and you'll have someone to be your GPS for your future, and you won't be flying blind. 416-863-7501. Thank you, Darren, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.
You're welcome, Marilyn. I look forward to speaking with you as well. Bye for now.